Keldeo got access to a new move, Secret Sword, and this is going to be a very interesting one because with this new form, Secret Sword is going to be a stronger move compared to Sacred Sword. It's going to have one of the strongest new charge moves in the game. It is a clone of Leaf Blade, which has already been one of the strongest moves in the game, but as a fighting type move, it has definitely a little bit more qualities. And with that, hello and welcome to a new video. Today, we're going to take a look at the new version of Keldeo. Keldeo is going to be a very interesting Pokemon here. We're going to take a look at the Ultra League for it. We had some test battles here against players from Twitter as well as from YouTube. If you, of course, want to be part of those videos as well, feel free to follow me on both platforms. It's the easiest way. I post my friend code there as well. And if you battle me, I usually keep you as a friend as well. Anyway, we're going to take a look here at the team. We're going to use our Keldeo as our say-so. And we saw already in the first battle here, Secret Sword doing some nice damage. Now we see him Pitta with the opponent's Moltres in order to get yet of another Secret Sword doing even no damage. The opponent starts to use a shield and respects the damage, and as far as I know, Secret Sword does the exact same damage as Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet, of course, is going to be our coverage move, but also needs 5 more energy, which makes Secret Sword definitely the best move to go for. In neutral scenarios, you're not going to win anything by going for the Aqua Jet. Here, we let the opponent go for a move because I was expecting that they're most likely going to have something weak to me in the back as well. And with that, a Belly Bolt is going to be able to take down nearly the Lapras. It is rumored, like most of the people already saw the move updates that are most likely coming towards next season. It's rumored that Belly Bolt is going to get nerfed a little bit. Again, we have to see on how things are going to go. I will make a video as soon as the season is going to be announced, which is very likely later on today, so definitely stay tuned for that, because I will, of course, inform you also on which Pokemon you kind of want to build and which Pokemon you maybe shouldn't build anymore in the new season. Yeah, definitely stay tuned for this one. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that yet. But here we faced one of the worst possible leads with Nidoqueen. That's actually the Pokemon that I was scared of the most with this team. I was aware that this team has a weakness for Nidoqueen, but I was also kind of in a position where I was like, nobody's going to run this Pokemon in the Ultra League right now, and someone actually brought it. What we saw here just now though as well is that Keldeo is best as a Scizor because it's a fighting type with a poison type damage. It is able to bait out fairy type Pokemon and still hits it hard with nice super effective fast move pressure as well as some neutral charge move pressure as well, which happened quite often in today's games here as well, which was very interesting. But here we're going to be in a position that is nearly impossible to win. I tried to do as much damage as possible with clanging scales, hoping that I would get them into a position where we are going to be able to farm them down afterwards. But sadly, so far this did not work out for us, and we're going to see the opponent going for a fly. We are going to see here as well that the opponent still gets to do another charge move. This is going to be another fly coming through, and we are now in a position where Nidoqueen goes up against an electric type, and you know already at this point I have 0 chance of winning this battle. There was nothing I could have done all battle here. This was just kind of a hard counter matchup, but yeah, well done from the opponent as well. Still played out perfectly, and we can move on to the next opponent. And honestly, I feel like kind of sad that I didn't use Keldeo on the lead. There were so many lead matchups where Keldeo would have been great, but here the opponent stays in for a tiny bit too long, which will allow us to get this Secret Sword off and still get basically the shield from the opponent. In comes the opponent's Feraligatr, which we can also still go for another Secret Sword here, and this is going to do some solid damage, as you can see. Kind of sad to see though that we did not get a singular animation for this move. I mean, this move was been teasered basically for the last 3 months, and they don't even have the animation for it in, which is quite ridiculous, I would say. But yeah, still it's a very strong move, even though we can't see any animation towards it. We see here the opponent going down, in comes Kyurem, and I know that the opponent has quite a lot of energy here, so I have to be a bit careful. I go for a shield, I try to go for the upper hand, and I try to get a bit more energy here now as well, hoping that this is going to work out for me. Upper hand is coming through, and we try to sub out there, but I guess, yeah, misclicked. I wanted to sub out a bit earlier, but I didn't get it done in time. And so they're still going to hit me and not going to knock me out. And now it's down to Belly Bolt. If Belly Bolt can win this battle, it could still well be the case. If they're weak to electric in the back, we're actually in a very solid position here. But we have to see on how this is going to go here. Is we're going to be able to go for another charge move. This is going to allow us to get some damage onto them. We can go for the farm down. They have Jellicent in the back. This game might not be over yet. While we're at -2, this Zapkin is going to chunk away the opponent's health. We are at a higher defense as well now. This is going to be enough to knock them out here, basically. And with that, we should be fine winning this battle. And to be fair, like if you've seen, of course, the leaks and whatever, I'm happy that Belly Bolt is most likely not going to be as strong next season anymore. I think it kind of deserves a bit of a change towards it. But yeah, generally speaking, I'm curious for the new season. I think the new season looks kind of good. Of course, there are like some things as well that you're gonna see very likely later. If everything is even correct like this, we don't actually know. Could be also that it's all fake, what we've seen online so far. I think it's kind of an exciting season coming up, even though we don't have legends. Like, we don't have the ranking system at all for the next season. But that's okay. We're going to have here Florges. Florges is going to go up against us again. This is not ideal for us at all. The opponent is going to be able to get a chilling water off against us. And we can stop out of here, though, into our Keldeo. And Keldeo, with this new move and design, we are going to be able to take the hit. We are also now going to be able to get a shiny Keldeo in Pokemon Go, by the way, if you are buying the ticket for it, which is quite overpriced. So if you're like you buying a legendary Pokemon, basically, for like €8, I think. It's a bit mad that things like this are even there, in my opinion. But generally speaking, I still think it's kind of cool to get like those shinies out there as well. Here we're gonna see the Togetic. We have actually 0 player. There's 0 play that we have against the opponent. There's nothing we can do here in order to win this battle, and that's fine. It's okay. The opponent's going to be able to take this game home, as our KOMMO-O is completely, useless against fairy types. That's kind of how the team was supposed to work, though. It's supposed to bait out the fairy types over the Keldeo. It's just difficult if they have 2 fairy types. Alright, entering a very bad lead for us. We're going to have the Sunpot, we're going to be able to now swap out into our Keldeo, and they were quite slow at swapping, which now allows me to go for my Orc-Jet against the opponent's Togekiss. That's okay. The opponent uses a shield here, and I think that Keldeo might be able to get even another shield from the opponent. But at this point, even, I might be able to use another shield and get even 2 moves off. But now I realize I am a tiny bit too late in order to really get to 2 Awkward Tails, so I'm forced to go for the bait here. And this works out beautifully. I get the shield from the opponent, and I still get the Awkward Jet off, which is now going to allow us to realign ourselves. I just beat a Fairy type with a Fighting type Pokemon that is super rare like the Keldeo here. And with that we have alignment, and this means as well that if we can hit a Clanging Scales here, the Swampert most likely will not appreciate this matchup anymore. Hydrokin is coming through, connecting against us, and Clanging Scales is going to get launched. Let's see on how much damage it's going to do against the opponent. It is going to knock them out straight away, and there's going to be the Registeel in the back, which is absolutely perfect for us, because what we can do next is we can go ahead and just go into our swap here. We can go ahead and go into our into our Bellybolt, and now they are forced to go for all of the charge moves the entire time. And I think this is kind of the best way of playing this, because now what we will see next is we're gonna have the charge move coming through, the Focus Blast. It's not going to be enough, and I can go for the Zap Cannon to kind of return the favor here, going for the big nuke move against the Registeel, knocking them out and winning us this battle. Next opponent is going to run yet again Kyurem. Kyurem is currently meta in this league. I could see this maybe even changing next season with one of the changes, but again, we can talk about it later on today. I assume it's going to be released in around 3 hours from when you watch this video, so stay tuned for the videos on this channel as well. We're going to talk about everything that you need to know towards this here. But as you can see now as well, there's going to be the opponent going for the charge move. This is fine. There is going to be our Bellybolt coming in here is going to have a very solid matchup still. And as we will see, there is going to be now the Bellybolt up against Jellicent, and I'm trying to get as much energy as basically as possible. I think this is the best way of playing this one out. But yeah, we're going to be able to now go ahead and go for the full farm down. But it's still going to look a little bit difficult for us now, because we are forced to go for the charge move here. This is not going to do a lot of damage against the Kyurem, but we have to kind of get them lower. But now we are in the really awkward position where, like, yes, I'm at +2 defense, which is great. Don't get me wrong. But I'm forced to kind of use a shield here because I can't have my KOMMO-O debuffed at the back. And so they're swapping out here as well. Feraligatr is in, which generally is not a bad thing. But the thing about Feraligatr is that this Pokemon is going to be able to go ahead and get the Ice Beam off. And I have to call that they go for the bait first, which they do not do. And this is, of course, now a very good game for the opponent, as they are going to be able to line themselves perfectly. There's not really anything I can do in order to change anything here. And this is going to be it for this one. We can move on to the next opponent, we will face a horrible lead for ourselves. This is going to be a very, very bad lead, but that's okay. Let's see on how we can deal with it. We're going to have, the Mewtwo coming in. Mewtwo is going to be able to yeah, go ahead, go up against us. This is fine. We have the Aqua Jet at least doing some nice damage, and we got this Pokemon out for the KOMMO-O. This is not the Pokemon that I really want to see here, or rather get out a Fairy type Pokemon, of course, as we have fast move pressure against it. But still, like, we got this low. The thing is here, of course, they're going to have 2 charge moves stored already, and that is not really ideal for me, because now it's just not really looking that great for us. Like, truth be told, it just doesn't really look that great for us. We're going to have here now a lot of damage onto ourselves already. I'm going to try to keep a Parabolic Charge for later on. Maybe I can snipe a Pokemon with that. Could be very well useful for me, at least. But we don't know on how this is actually going to go. As you're going to go into the Empoleon now, I can try to go for the upper hand spam. Try to get some damage onto them, which is great for me, but they also have still a super effective coverage against me, which is then not ideal. And so I'm forced yet again to go for a shield, but I think they can just keep their shields even for their Guzzlord in order to win this battle, because they have Dragon Claw, which you saw already, and Dragon Claw is going to be enough already to knock us out. So they decide to actually use a shield here, which I was kind of surprised about, which I was thinking maybe this gives me still a chance, because now I can snipe them even. And I am in a very alright position, as we can see here as well. We are going to have the charge move coming through, so maybe I can still do something there, but then again, they have Dragon Claw. I don't have shields. I don't think I can have really a chance here of winning this battle. As you see, yeah, they're going to be able to go for the Dragon Claw, and sadly going to be enough. Bad lead for us, and I wasn't really able to come back from it. That's fine though. Next opponent was a very funny matchup. I remember this one. Definitely stay tuned to this one. We have Trevenant in the lead. Trevenant is going to be very cool. Rumored to be buffed next season. Again, stay tuned for later. We're going to have the Seed Bomb coming in there as well. This is going to be alright. And I'm going to swap into my KOMMO-O, because in theory, we should be able to completely destroy the opponent's KOMMO-O with our the opponent's Drapion with our KOMMO-O, because we're going to be able to resist everything. Unless they're running Sludge Bomb, which they do, and I wasn't too sure if this is going to be another one, because I'm not aware as much about the Sludge Bomb version of this Pokemon. And so I use a shield against the Crunch, which is not something I needed to do. I would have survived still a Crunch there. But as you're going to see, we are going to be able to go for a charge move here now. Upper hand is going to get the final shield. And with that, we're still at least in position where we're going to be able to knock them out with our lead. But we don't know what they have in the back. And we don't know if this is going to work out for me now. I have a ton of energy. I can go for the Parabolic Charge, which is generally okay for me. This is not bad at all. And I'm going to be able to knock them out. Entering a Tornadus, and I'm gonna go for the Zap Cannon. In hindsight, it would have been better. Like, this is, of course, practice fun battles. In hindsight, it would have been better just go for 2 Parabolic Charges, because then this move barely hits me. But this is still going to be okay. I try to go for the full farm down. I will be able to get the full farm down. I go straight for the Parabolic Charge, hoping that I'm going to be able to go ahead and get some more damage on against them, staying in here as well with a fast move, but they're going to be able to go for their own move here. And I think this was actually a mistake at the end of the day. If I swapped out straight away, I would have been able to get to an Aqua Jet still, which would have done massive amounts of damage even though it's resisted. So yeah, that wasn't ideal for me. I think I could have played it a little bit better, but it is literally what it is. I can't really change it. And as we're going to see as well, we're going to move on to the next one, as this was a funny draw. Next up, we're going to have here the opponent with their Steelix. I'm going to stay in for a little bit. I want them to go for a charge move first. I think that's going to be the best one for me. As you're going to see here now as well, we are going to be able to go into the swap, into the Keldeo. They have super effective fast move and super effective charge move pressure against me, which is not really ideal, but it is what it is, right? So yeah, we're going to be able to use a shield here. It is going to be the psychic things coming through, and we can at least pressure them slow with a Secret Sword. In comes Mewtwo again. We're gonna bait this Pokemon out, at least for my other Pokemon. That's kind of fine, I guess. And as we're gonna see here, there is going to be the Aqua Jet now coming through, and we are going to now see that we can go for another charge move. This is allowing us to get the damage onto them, and we have to go kind of for the full farm down against the opponent now. As we will see here, the opponent still goes for another charge move. The Side Strike is doing a lot of damage, but can we go for the full farm down? Nope. And with a 1 HP we can't, and I'm going to sacrifice my Belly Bolt at this point and hope that somehow my KOMMO-O can destroy the entire team from the opponent. Can we do that? Let's find out. Gyarados comes in. It's not too bad, because the charge moves at least are going to be resisted, so I can let this move go through. This game is not over yet, and we are not giving up here on this channel. We're going to be able to get up to a lot of energy as I swap back into the Steelix, which is sadly so bulky that even a super effective stab upper hand is not touching it as much as it needs to be in order to get the KO with 1 hit. And so sadly we are forced to go for 2 moves, which now puts us into range where Dragon Breath down is a possible option for the opponent. And so we're sadly going to lose the final battle. That's going to be it for Keldeo. after this one, I'm going to mainly talk about the new season on this channel, so definitely stay tuned for this and subscribe for more.